We've gotten yet another juicy Stranger Things Season 5 update. Hey everyone, it's Ty the TV Guy here, back with another Stranger Things update video, and today I'll be walking you through the most recent post from our favorite Instagram Stranger Things updater, Ross Duffer, the co-creator of the show, of course. In recent months, and I guess at this point we can say recent years since the release of Season 4, dating all the way back to then, Ross has kind of been the main direct source from the show to give us updates in between the big things like teaser trailers and filming announcements from Stranger Things or Netflix themselves. He's given us stuff like behind the scenes photos, little tidbits into what's going on set and in production since the finishing of filming last December. And so now at this point in most recent posts, he's been giving us updates on the editing and mixing process of the episodes in their final stages at this point. So a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago now, he updated us that episodes 1 and 2 were completely mixed and finished, sealed, and ready to go for the audiences to watch. He also talked about the vanishing episode, the second episode of this upcoming season that people think they know who's going to be vanishing, but they really have no clue, kind of teasing us there a bit. So that was a cool update from him. I made a video about that on my page. It's my most recent video before this, so you can check that out. But now we're getting an update about episodes 3 and 4, and it's kind of the same nature. They're mixed, sealed, delivered, ready to go via Netflix. But per usual, he also gave us a little bit of insight, really as much as he can at this point, without spoiling anything, into these episodes in the final season and what we can expect from them. Also, what makes this significant is that literally Volume 1, that's releasing in a little less than 3 months now, episodes 1 through 4 of Season 5 would be ready to watch right now. If it was going to release in that time frame. Obviously, they aren't actually going to be made available to the public for build-up purposes and everything like that until November, but they are actually ready and completely finished as of right now. So to get into exactly what he posted, he said, chapters 3 and 4 locked, mixed, scored, colored. Volume 1 is done. He then goes on to talk about the 2 episodes they most recently mixed and everything. Specifically, episode 3, The Turnbow Trap, is the most classic Stranger Thingsy episode of the season. It's got all our favorite things. Directed by one of our idols, Frank Darabont, who did Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, some of The Walking Dead, who literally came out of retirement for this. He crushed it, obviously. So I know this is really just a few sentences here, but for me, a Stranger Things nerd, there's so much to go through here. The Turnbow Trap, first of all, being the name of the episode. I know I haven't specifically dove into exactly what I think the episode titles could mean and everything. There is a character whose name is believed to be Derek Turnbow. You can see him in a picture here with Erica and in a few scenes kind of in the teasers that have led up to Season 5 so far. And it's believed that his family kind of like owns a farm. That's kind of the rumor that swirls about him and his involvement in the show. It might just be Erica's friend at school too or whatever. But it appears his family's property is going to come into play, and that might be where we see Joyce with this axe here kind of standing at the door and the Demogorgon breaks it open. We think that might be during the Turnbow Trap episode, and it might be on like the Turnbow farm on their property. So that could be the significance of the title. As for the trap portion, maybe there's some trap that they're able to use on the farm or some way they're able to lure the monsters into the traps to temporarily defeat them and capture them. Well, maybe not capture, hopefully kill. But either way, that's the analysis I kind of have for that portion of the post at this point, because ultimately we don't know the extent of the Turnbow family property involvement, and we don't know 100% that that's the case, but that is what it's believed to be in terms of the significance of the title. Moving on, he says it's the most Stranger Thingsy episode of the season, so obviously it's a little up for interpretation what that means. I'm assuming it's going to mean our characters are going to be going on adventures a lot. It's going to have that original Stranger Things feel kind of in Season 1 with the kids biking around trying to figure things out. I think this photo of Lucas and Mike could very well be from this Season 5 Episode 3 episode, now that we got this description. And just as it kind of looks like they're going to maybe execute this plan, maybe the burn that is referenced in the initial teaser trailer that we got about a month ago, maybe that plan is really coming to fruition in this one. So, we got a plan made by a large group of characters that's together. We got some of them going out on an adventure to execute it. I think that could kind of be the vibe of this episode. And then we got the Turnbow Trap stuff going down too on the Turnbow property. Probably, once again, that isn't all 100% confirmed, I don't believe, but that is believed to be the general gist of the Turnbow family and Derek Turnbow's involvement. And yeah, I'm telling you, I just think Season 5, a lot of it, especially in the early portion, is going to have that Season 1 feel in terms of the adventure and the mystery, and that season 2 feel as far as the aesthetic and some of the ways they actually go about this, including the burn. I know we've seen a little bit of hints toward like tunnels like we saw in season 2. So I think it's going to combine elements from the first couple seasons and then have the grandness as we move forward in the season of a season 4, for example. And then another juicy detail, which I already knew, but many of you maybe didn't if you don't pay as close attention to the Stranger Things announcements, even underground Stranger Things announcements and stuff like that, that Frank Darabont is directing, I believe, episodes plural of this season, but in volume 1 here, it appears he has just done episode 3, and if you don't know the significance of this, he did direct, as I read off earlier, Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, and parts of The Walking Dead. Now, Shawshank Redemption is my favorite movie ever. It's also the highest rated film on Rotten Tomatoes by the audience score, I think, so this is, kind of universally regarded as one of the best pieces of film ever, and he was the director of that movie. So we're in for a treat here, point blank. I don't think there's much more that needs to go into it. There's a picture of him here with Erica. I think he's going to have our actors locked in this final season. And that's cool that he said he came out of retirement. He probably hasn't done anything in years and wanted to get involved with Stranger Things, believed in it, thought it was that special. So I like that as well. And then Ross didn't type up too much about Sorcerer here, just says it's massive, as big as any finale we've ever done, in the most logistically insane shoot of our lives. We're still recovering. So basically, just hyping us up here a little bit, not as many details as are in that Turnbow Trap episode explanation, but still basically just telling us, just wait and see. This is going to be grand. It's, had some of the most challenging things in terms of filming and shooting it, like he said. Eddie's guitar solo, Hopper's battle with the Demogorgon at the end of season 4. A lot of season 4 moments seemed really high scale and probably logistically challenging from a shooting perspective, but he claims that this is the craziest thing they've done in the entirety of the show. And this is just at the end of volume 1, so super excited for this, and I think it's going to be an epic conclusion. I think this kind of confirms that the end of volume 1 is going to probably feel like a conclusion itself. This is going to be technically one season in season 5, but it's going to feel like multiple different experiences. It's going to be basically volume 1 is going to feel like its own season, I think, and then we're going to pick up where we left off for volume 2 and 3, of course. But as time's gone on here, I've gotten more and more excited of the concept of 3 releases. I wasn't a fan of it at first, but I can appreciate it now. And then just one last note I have to touch on here is the name of the episode, Sorcerer. They're saying the scale is really large here. The name of this episode, to me, indicates something big's going to be going on with Will. Now, I don't think it's going to be like his death scene or anything yet. If that were to happen, I think it would obviously be in the last episode of the show with a character of his magnitude and importance. But I think that, as the title indicates, we're going to see some type of ability or power that we haven't seen yet from Will. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen in this episode. He's going to unlock it for whatever reason. Hasn't been able to. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. That has been a concern that I've expressed. Like, why hasn't he had powers in season 3 and 4? Is he just going to, all of a sudden get them now? To me, I would need that explained to me really well. And hopefully, if it does happen in this episode, as the title may indicate, we get that really detailed and fleshed out explanation. And of course, I looked up the definition of sorcerer, and it's a person who claims or is believed to have magic powers, a wizard. And of course, Will's name in the party is Will the Wise, and he is a wizard, dresses up in that purple outfit as we see in season 3. So I don't think it's a hidden secret that that's what this episode is more than likely about. It's just about, once again, the explanation of why he hasn't had the powers, what is now triggering him to be able to tap into them, and to what extent he has them. I've expressed my concern with him having powers and hoping that it's not anywhere near what Eleven has, because to me, that would take away from how special her character and the powers she has had and honed over the seasons has been. And I just kind of hope it's like his own thing. He's in his own lane and not kind of a carbon copy of Eleven and the great abilities that she has. I don't know, guys. My head honestly spins about this topic. I don't get how Will has powers, but I think we're going to find out in Season 5, Episode 4, Sorcerer. But alrighty, that's about all I have for this video. Just a little Stranger Things 5 update as we wait for kind of another big trailer, or maybe even the official trailer here in a month or two. So it's going to be great, guys. And for the build up to season 5, keep checking out my videos like this one and subscribe to my channel for more. I have so much more Stranger Things content coming as we get more updates, even just theory videos, ranking videos, opinions as we lead up to season 5. And of course, upon the release of the season, I'm going to have so many reviews and great content relating to that. But that's all for today. Stay out of the upside down, and I'll see you in the next video.